To learn how to do Ujjayi breath, let's start by taking an inhale through our nose and exhaling through our mouth as if attempting to fog a mirror that is located in front of our face. So inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Let's try that couple more times. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And the actual Ujjayi breath will be repeating the same actions, and this time we'll be inhaling and exhaling both through our nose. So taking an inhale through the nose, exhale to fog a mirror. Try that one more time. Inhale. We should be able to feel the movement of air at the back of our throat. So let's practice Ujjayi breathing for 3 more repetitions. Inhale and exhale. For the Vinyasa transition from plank to chaturanga to upward facing dog and to downward facing dog, there are few options to regress the transition. So the first option is to skip the chaturanga portion. So from plank, drop the front of your hips towards the mat as you arch your upper back, squeeze your shoulder blades, untuck your toes and look up in upward facing dog. Then tuck your toes, flex your spine as you send your hips up and back into downward facing dog. And the next option is to regress it even further. So from plank, drop both of your knees onto the mat, bend your elbows, lower your chest in between your hands and glide forward, arching your upper back, squeezing your shoulder blades, untuck your toes and either come into baby cobra or straighten both of your arms and come into cobra. And then press your hips up, moving into all four, tuck your toes and press your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Standing at the top of our mat in Samastiti, we'll do 3 rounds of Sun Salutation A and 3 rounds of Sun Salutation B. So inhale, raise your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, look down. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale and step your feet back, coming into plank. And I'll start with a variation of Vinyasa transition, whereby I will drop my knees. Exhale, lower my chest in between my hands. Inhale, glide into cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. We'll stay in downward facing dog for 5 breaths. You can pedal your legs, bend one knee and straighten the other, and switch. And keep switching until you complete your 5 breaths. And then keep both knees straight. Look forward in between your hands and step your feet to the front. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up into standing. Reach your arms overhead. And exhale, look forward. Lower your arms by your side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale and step back onto plank. Vinyasa transition, drop your knees. Exhale, lower your chest. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And stay for 5 breaths. Look up, inhale, and step your feet forward in between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, arms reaching up. And exhale, arms by your side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And this time you could try jumping back lightly onto plank. And try the next variation of Vinyasa transition. Drop the front of your hips towards the mat. As you arch your upper back, squish your shoulder blades. Untuck your toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. And tuck your toes around your spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. And stay in downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Inhale, a step forward or bend your knees and hop your feet forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. And inhale, rise up into standing. Reach your arms overhead, look up. Exhale, look forward and lower your arms by your side. And sun salutation B. So inhale, raise your arms up, bend your knees, lower your hips, child's pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step or jump back onto plank. Lower your hips, arch your upper back, upward facing dog. Exhale, push your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward close to your right hand. Drop the back heel and do a quick check that the feet are not directly behind each other, but there should be a gap between the feet. Inhale, raise your arms up, bring your torso upright, sternum facing forward, warrior one. Exhale, palms down, back heel up, step back to plank, transition to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward beside the left hand, drop the back heel. Quick check, there is a gap between the 2 feet. Inhale, arms up, sternum facing forward, warrior one. Exhale, palms down, step back to plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay for 5 breaths. Look forward in between your hands, either step forward or bend your knees and hop. Feet in between hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise your arms up, bring your torso away from your legs as you bend your knees. Child's pose. Exhale, straighten your knees, arms by your side. Inhale, child's pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale and either step back or jump back onto plank. And if you are ready, you could progress to the Vinyasa transition, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, or you are welcome to continue with the previous version with the knees drop, or the one where we skip the chaturanga. Exhale, Vinyasa transition. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward beside the right hand, drop the back heel. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, palms down, plank, lower to chaturanga or not. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward beside the left hand, drop the back heel. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, palms down, step back to plank. Vinyasa transition of your choice. We all meet each other in downward facing dog and stay here for 5 breaths. Look up, either step forward or bend your knees and hop your feet in between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, raise your arms up, coming into child's pose. Exhale, straighten both knees, arms down by your side. So for the last round of Sun Salutation B, we will do at our own pace and I will not be cueing. Pick one yoga block and turn yourself to face the other end of the mat. Hold the yoga block with your right hand as you swing your left foot out about 30 to 45 degrees. Step your right foot to the front and place the block on the inner side of your right foot. Straighten the front knee and lower your torso towards the front leg by hinging from your hips. And place your left palm or your left fingertips on the block and turn your sternum, twisting to the right side, and then extend your right arm up and either look towards your right hand or look forward, and we'll stay in Parivrtta Trikonasana for 5 breaths. Place the top hand on your waist, look down, bend the front knee slightly, and inhale to bring your torso upright. Keep the front knee bent and hinging from the hip, lower your torso towards the front leg. Press the left palm on the block, twist your sternum to the right side, reach the right arm forward and then over your head. Look forward or look towards the hand that is overhead. Stay for 5 breaths in Parivrtta Paschimottanasana. Inhale, bring the hand that is overhead and place it on your waist. Turn your sternum facing down towards the mat. Inhale, bring your torso upright and step the front foot back. Turn your right foot out about 30 to 45 degrees and step the left foot forward, straighten the front knee, and hinging from the hips, lower your torso towards the front leg. Place either your entire right palm or stay lightly on your right fingertips on the block. Twist your sternum to the left and reach the left arm up. Look forward or look up towards the left hand. Stay for 5 breaths in Parivrtta Trikonasana. Place the top hand on your waist. Bend the front knee. Sternum facing down towards the mat as you inhale and raise your torso upright. Keep the front knee bent. Hinging from the hips. Lower your torso. Place your right palm on the block. Turn your sternum to face the left side. And stretch your left arm forward. Swing it overhead. Look forward or look towards the hand that is overhead. And stay in Parivrtta Paschimottanasana for 5 breaths. Bring the hand that is overhead and place it onto your waist. Turn your sternum facing down towards the mat. Inhale, raise your torso upright and step the front foot towards the back, feet parallel, arms by your side. Moving on to Prasarita Padhottanasana or wide-legged forward fold. Step your right foot forward and turn yourself to face towards the long edge of your mat and reposition the block. Feet parallel. Inhale, spread your arms to the side. Exhale, place them on your waist, keeping neutral spine as you hinging from your hips with your next exhale, and lower yourself into about 90 degrees. And place your palms on your mat. Move it towards the back, parallel with your feet. Inhale, exhale, bend your elbows, fold deeper. Bring your elbow towards each other. If you find the balance is challenging, you can place the block to support under your forehead. And we'll stay for 5 breaths. Inhale, raise yourself up slightly by extending your arms. Place your hands back at your waist and hinging from your hips to bring yourself upright. Inhale, arms to the side. Exhale, hands by your waist. Inhale and exhale as you hinge from your hips to lower yourself down. And this time, keeping your hands and your waist. Fold deeper. Use the block to support under your head if you need to. And we'll stay for another 5 breaths. Inhale, slowly lifting yourself up. Inhale, spread your arms to the side. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind your back. Pull your arms away from your back, squeezing your shoulder blades. Take an inhale and exhale, hinging from the hips. Slowly lower yourself back down onto the forward fold. Support your head if you need to with the block. At your deepest forward fold, keep pulling both arms away from your back and stay for 5 breaths. Inhale, slowly lifting yourself up. Inhale, let go of the hands, spread the arms to the side. Exhale, place your hands on your waist. Inhale, exhale, hinging from your hips. Lower yourself down to your forward fold and grab your big toes. Inhale, straighten the arms, spine neutral. Exhale, bend at the elbows. Fold deeper. Then stay for 5 breaths. Support your head with the block if you need to. Inhale, slowly raise your torso up as you place your hands back at your waist and slowly hinging from the hips, bringing yourself upright. Heel toes, your feet closer. Step and return to one end of your mat. So stay where you are. I will position myself in the middle to come into tree pose. So there are a few ways to find your tree pose. You could bend one knee. So let's start with the right knee and then externally rotate the right hip out to the side. And you can place the sole of the right foot near the left ankle or put it slightly higher just under the left knee or even higher above the left knee and use a gentle assistance of your right fingertips to position the right foot. Find your tree. The higher the right foot will be more challenging for balance. So work at your level and you are welcome to stand near the wall to help with the balance. And place your hands in prayer in front of your heart center. Focus your gaze at the point in front of you and hold your tree for another 3 breaths. Releasing the right foot back down. And we'll do the second leg. So start with bending the left knee and externally rotate the left hip to bring the left knee pointing to the side. And choose the position where you want your left foot to be, either over the right ankle, under the right knee, or above the right knee. Hands in prayer and hold for 5 breaths. And place your left foot down, feet parallel. Lower your arms by your side. Turn yourself to face the short edge of your mat, back where we start, at the top of our mat. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, lower your hips, and come into child's pose. Place your palms on the outer side of your thighs and press the thighs and the palms against each other, shifting more body weight towards your heels. Feel your thighs engage. Keep the thighs pushing out. Raise your arms overhead. Either look forward or look up. And hold for another 3 breaths. Straighten the knees. Fold yourself forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Place one of the blocks behind your feet. Climb onto the blocks. We'll try crow pose or Bakasana. Lift your hips up. Rest your knees at behind your arms at the armpit. And slowly lean forward. And attempt to lift one foot off the block. Place it back down and lift the other foot. Place it back down. Rest for a while. Release the knees off your arms. And we'll try that one more time. Lift your hips up. Rest your knees on your arms near your armpit. Lean your body weight forward. Either lifting one foot at a time, or maybe this time you could lift both feet up. Bring the heels high towards your hips and jump back, or lower your feet down and step back. And exhale to plank, or not. You can skip straight to upward facing dog. Push your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Remove the block and set it aside. Inhale, step your right foot beside your right hand. Drop the back heel. And inhale, bring your torso upright, arms up. Look in between your hands or look forward. Warrior 1. Stay for 5 breaths. Maintaining the gaze at the space in between our hands as we straighten front leg and swivel ourselves to the other side. Bend the other knee, coming into Warrior 1 on the second side. If your neck is tired, you can lower and look forward. Otherwise, looking up into the space in between your hands for another 3 breaths. Look forward, spread the arms to the side as you swivel and turn your sternum towards the long edge of your mat on the right side. And turn and look towards your left hand, Warrior 2. Press your shoulders down away from your ears. 3 more breaths. Turn and look towards the other hand. As you swivel your legs, coming into warrior 2 on the second side, hold for 5 breaths. Cartwheel, both palms down on the mat. Step back into plank and Vinyasa of your choice. And downward facing dog. So drop your knees onto the mat. Bring the 2 blocks onto your mat. Position your palms on the blocks. Coming back into downward facing dog. So I'll show you a variation of jump forward because we will continue into the seated sequence. So from here, look forward to the space in between your blocks. Bend your knees and hop forward, crossing your ankles, bending the knees, pushing up against the block, and slowly drag your feet in between the blocks and straighten the legs as you sit your bottoms down. I will also show you the jump back. You start by pressing onto your blocks to raise your hips up and drag your feet. Start crossing at the ankle and jump back onto plank, Vinyasa, and downward dog. So one more time, just jump forward, look to the space in between your blocks, bend your knees and hop the legs forward, crossing at the ankle under your hips. Keep pressing strongly against the block as you drag your feet and straighten the legs as you lower your bottoms onto the mat. The first pose in seated sequence will be Dandasana. It will be a good idea to get a blanket and a hand towel or yoga strap. Or what I have here is a stretchy Dyna band. And I will place the folded blanket under my bottoms to raise my hips slightly. This is to promote a slight anterior tilt of my pelvis. And I'll be using the band or the strap to bring awareness to the legs and the feet. So I will loop over the strap or the band or over the soles of the feet. Pull back. So for now we are keeping the spine neutral and might be slightly hinging forward. And bring awareness to the legs. You want to actively push away with the soles of your feet against the strap or the band. And by doing so, feel your whole legs engage more, keeping the legs activated in this manner. Release the band or the strap and bring your torso upright. Press your palms down. Roll your shoulders down. Press your head back. Tuck your chin towards your chest. And breathe 5 Ujjayi breaths in Dandasana. And slowly untuck your chin, look forward. and relax. Remove the blanket from under your hips and cross your ankles in front of your hips. Press your palms onto the blocks and raise your hips off the mat and step or jump back onto plank and Vinyasa transition of your choice. And either step forward, sit on your mat and extend your legs forward, or try bending your knees, look forward and hop as you cross at the ankle. Feet under your hips, hips high, pressing palms against your block, and slowly drag the feet and extend the legs forward. Sit back on the folded blanket and we'll move on into Paschimottanasana or seated forward fold. So let's start by bringing awareness to the legs and the feet. Place the strap or the band in the same manner as before in Dandasana and pull it back, keeping the spine neutral, slightly hinging forward, soles of the feet pressing against the band or the strap, keeping it engaged. Let go of the strap or the band, and with every exhale, start folding forward and place your hands anywhere along your legs. Work at your level. Some of you might be able to grab at the ankles. Some will be on the outer sides of the feet. Some will be able to grab the big toes. And some will have the range to reach behind the soles of the feet. And one hand will grab the opposite wrist. So work at your level. 3 more breaths. Inhale to lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale to fall deeper. Inhale, gently raise your upper body away from your legs. Place your hands behind your waist, fingers pointing forward or pointing slightly diagonally out to the side. We'll move on into Purvottanasana. So there are two variations for this pose. The first one will be bending both knees and pressing feet flat on the floor. Inhale, press with the feet and palms and hoist your hips up. Come up into tabletop and hold for 3 breaths. Exhale, gently lower your bottoms back on the folded blanket. And we'll try the one with straight legs. So you will press with your palms and your heels as you inhale and hoist your hips up. Try to ground your toes onto the floor and stay here for another 3 breaths. And exhale, gently lower. Remove the blanket from under your bottom. Press your palms on the blocks. Cross the ankles in front of your hips. Press up, lift your hips, and jump or step back onto plank. Vinyasa transition. Step or hop forward. Sit your bottoms down and straighten your legs forward. The next two poses are variation of Paschimottanasana or seated forward fold. Again, sit on the folded blanket. Keep the left leg extended forward and bend the right knee and place the sole of the right foot on the inner left thigh. And if your right knee is floating above the mat or the floor, you could put one block under it for support. And turn your torso to face the straight leg. Flex the left foot and reach anywhere on the left leg. Inhale, exhale, forward fold towards the left leg. And hold for 5 breaths. Inhale, raise your upper body upright and switch the legs. Straighten the right and bend the left knee, placing the sole of left foot on the inner right thigh. And similarly, if your left knee is floating above the floor or the mat, place one block under to serve as support. Turn your sternum facing towards the straight leg and reach to hold anywhere along the right leg. Inhale and exhale, forward folding towards the right leg and hold for 5 breaths. Keep the right leg active. Inhale and raise your upper body upright. Straighten both legs forward. Remove the blanket from under your bottom. And this time sit on one of the blocks. Bend the right knee and point the right foot towards the back. Bring the knees towards each other. If you need to sit higher, then sit on a stack of 2 blocks. So start to activate the straight legs or the left leg. Turn your sternum towards the left foot and reach to hold anywhere along the left foot. You take an inhale and exhale, gently forward folding towards the left leg. With every exhale, fold deeper and inhale to lengthen through the crown of your head. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Slowly raise your upper body upright and switch the legs position. Straighten the right leg. Bend the left knee, point the left foot towards the back, bring the knees close to each other. Face your sternum towards the right toes, leaning forward slightly to place your hands anywhere along the right leg. Exhale at forward fold. Stay for 5 breaths. Inhale, come up, extend both legs and remove the blocks from under your bottoms. Place the 2 blocks at the top of your mat. Cross at the ankles in front of your hips. Press the palms on the blocks. Raise your hips up. Hop back or step onto plank. In Vinyasa transition. From downward facing dog, either step forward, sit down and straighten your legs, or bend your knees, look in between the blocks, hop, cross your ankles, drag your feet forward, straighten your legs. The next pose is Marichyasana. Scoot yourself to the middle of your mat and sit on top of folded blanket. For Marichyasana A, keep the left leg straight, bend the right knee and press the right foot flat on the mat. Bring the right heel as close as possible towards your hips. We'll move into Marichyasana C. This time we'll add a twist. So we'll turn the sternum facing towards the right side and place the left elbow on the outer side of the right knee. So this is the first variation. If you are able to, internally rotate the left arm and wrap it around the right leg and reach the other hand from behind and bind. So if binding is not possible, this will be your variation for today. Inhale, exhale, twist deeper, maybe attempting to look behind towards the right hand behind your waist, and stay for another 3 breaths. Keep the straight leg active. And if you are binding, release your bind and slowly untwist yourself. We'll switch legs. So straighten the right leg, bend the left knee and press the left foot flat on the mat. Bring the left heel as close as possible towards your hips. Inhale and twist on the exhale towards the left side. Left hand behind your waist and place the right elbow on the outer side of the left knee. Press the elbow and knee against each other and exhale to twist deeper. This might be your variation for today. If you want to try binding, you will internally rotate the right arm, wrap it around the left leg, reaching behind, internally rotate the other arm, reaching behind to interlace both hands behind your back. If this is not available, return to the first variation, which is this one. Whichever variation you choose to do, let's stay for another 2 more breaths. If you are binding, release your bind. Slowly untwist yourself facing forward. Straighten both legs. Bend the right knee, pressing the right foot flat on the floor. Bend the other knee. Left knee will be pressing down towards the mat. And place the left foot behind the right ankle, like so. If you need to, place a block under the left knee for support. And pull both heels as close as possible towards your hips. We'll move on to Marichyasana D. So inhale and exhale, twist to your right side. left elbow on the outer side of the right ankle. Press the elbow and knee against each other, and with every exhale, twist deeper. If you would like to try binding, internally rotate the left arm, wrap it around the right leg, and bring the other arm behind, and see if you can find the hands behind your back and interlace them together. One more breath. If you are binding, release the bind before you gently untwist yourself. And we'll switch legs. So bring both knees up first and drop the right knee to the side. Put a block under if you need to. Left foot pressing on the mat. And place the right foot behind the left ankle. And bring both heels towards your hips as close as possible. We'll take an inhale and exhale to twist. Left hand behind your waist. Right elbow on the outer side of the left knee. Press the elbow and the knee against each other. Exhale and twist deeper. And if you would like to try binding, internally rotate the right arm and wrap it around the left leg. And reach the other arm and see if they can find each other and interlace behind your back. If you are binding, release your hands and slowly untwist yourself. Straighten both legs. Remove the blanket from under your bottoms. Scoot forward. Cross the ankle in front of your hips. Press your palms on the blocks. Raise your hips up. Jump or step back onto plank. Vinyasa transition of your choice. Step or hop forward and straighten your legs. Moving on onto Navasana or boat pose. Scoot yourself to the middle of the mat. Position the blocks on either side of your hips. Start with the knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Reach your arms forward and roll the shoulders down. Keep the shoulders away from your ears as you lean back, balancing on your tailbone, lifting feet off the mat. And you could keep the knees bent and hold for 5 breaths, or some of you might be able to keep them straight. Lower the feet on the mat and cross at the ankles. Press your palms on the blocks. Inhale to lift the hips up and maybe float the feet few inches above the mat. Exhale. Sit your bottoms down. Back onto Navasana for another 5 breaths. Lower the feet, cross at the ankles, press palms on the blocks, raise your hips high and maybe float the feet off the mat and lower. One more repetition of Navasana. for 5 breaths. Feet on the mat, cross at the ankles, press up, hips up, lift the feet off the mat, and gently sit back on the mat. Place the blocks at the top of your mat, cross at the ankles, step or jump back onto plank, Vinyasa transition. Step or hop forward. Sit your bottoms down and straightens your leg forward. From here, we'll move on into a variation of Garbha Pindasana. So scoot to the center of your mat. Press the soles of your feet together, heels close to your hips. Interlace your finger and place it under your feet. Inhale and exhale to roll back onto your mat. Take another inhale and exhale to roll back up, balancing on your tailbone. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Let's do 2 more. And then lay down. Release your feet. Extend the left leg and point the left foot. Bring the right thigh as close as possible to your chest. If you are able to, grab the right big toe and extend the right leg. But if by doing so, your right shoulder is lifting off the mat, then keep the right knee bent and just interlace your finger and place it in front of your right knee and pull the thigh to your chest. Staying here for 5 breaths. Exhale and externally rotate the right hip to bring the right leg out to the side. So if you are doing the knee bend position, you will still externally rotate, bring your right knee out to the side. Place your left hand over your left hip and apply a gentle pressure to make sure that the both sides of your pelvis are still making contact with the mat. Inhale, bring the right leg back to the center. If you are doing the straight leg, hold with both hands at the back of your right ankle. Inhale, exhale, bring your legs towards your chest and your chest towards your legs, lifting your head off the floor and stay for 5 breaths. If you are doing the bend knee version, interlace your finger front of your right knee. Inhale and exhale, bring your forehead towards your knee and your knee towards your forehead. Tuck your chin to your chest and hold for 5 breaths. Exhale, place your head back on the mat. Place your right leg on the mat. point the right foot, bend the left knee. And if you are doing the bend knee version on this side, interlace your finger and pull your left leg towards your chest. We are doing the straight leg version. Grab the left big toe with your left thumb, index finger and middle finger and straighten the left leg and check to make sure that your left shoulder is still grounded onto the mat. Straight leg that is on the floor engage and stay for 5 breaths. Externally rotate your left hip to bring either your straight left leg or bend left leg out to the side. And with your right hand, gently press onto your right hip to make sure that your pelvis still making contact with the ground. Breathe. Inhale, bring the left leg back to the center. If you are doing the straight leg version, then interlace your finger behind your left ankle and exhale to lift your head, neck and upper back, torso towards your legs and your legs towards your torso. We are doing the bend knee version. Interlace your finger, pull your knees towards your chest. Exhale, lift your head off the mat, bringing your forehead towards your knee and stay for another 3 breaths. The legs that is on the floor is still active. Exhale, lower your head, upper back on the mat. Place your left foot back down. Both legs are on your mat. Inhale, raise both legs up and using a little bit of momentum, lift the hips up and bring both legs overhead. Reach for the big toes. Inhale. Exhale, you could bend the knees slightly and roll back up, balancing on your tailbone, and extend both legs out, still holding onto your big toes. You could choose to keep the knees bent. Look forward or tilt your chin up. Bend the knees, lower the feet onto the mat, lay back down, straighten the legs up using a little bit of momentum, lift the hips and bring the legs overhead. This time the hands will be reaching to hold the outer side of your feet. Inhale, exhale, you may slightly bend the knees and roll up, balancing on your tailbone. Keep your knees bent, or if it's available for you, to extend both legs out. Focus your gaze forward or up at a point on the ceiling and breathe. Bend the knees, lower the feet onto the mat. Lay back down. Bring your both arms by your side, palms facing down. Tuck your chin towards your chest, pressing the soles of your feet against the mat. Hoist your hips up and come up onto bridge. Exhale, roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale and exhale, press your feet against the mat, hoist your hips up, squeeze your glutes. Bridge pose for 3 breaths. Exhale, roll your back vertebrae by vertebrae back onto the mat. Inhale, exhale, press up, squeeze your glutes, ground both of your feet down. Exhale, lay your back onto the mat. And from here we will progress into Chakrasana or wheel pose. We will start from bridge, and this time we will add the arms position by the side of our head. So bend at the elbow, press the palms down, fingers will be pointing towards the feet. If this is not available for you today, then you will keep the arms by your side, palms facing down, and repeat bridge pose for another 3 repetitions. Otherwise, to place the hands by the side of your head, start with pressing up onto bridge pose. Press your palms down to lift your shoulders off the mat. Place the top of your head onto the mat. Exhale, lift your head, place the back of your head onto the mat, place your shoulders down, your upper back and your lower back, and finally your sacrum. Inhale, exhale, lift up onto bridge pose. Press and drive your palms down, lift your shoulders up, place the top of your head onto the mat. Inhale, exhale, drive the palms down, straighten your elbows and come up onto wheel pose. Exhale, lower the top of your head and the back of your head, your shoulders, your upper back, lower back and your sacrum. So we'll try one more time, coming up either onto bridge pose if you are choosing to keep your arms by your side, or if you are placing your hand beside your head, you will try pressing up either to the top of your head or pressing all the way up into wheel pose. Inhale, exhale, press up onto bridge pose, drive your feet down, English your glutes, and take another inhale, exhale, press your palms down, lifting your shoulders and either coming onto the top of your head or press up, straightening your elbows into wheels pose, whichever variation you choose. Let's stay for a couple more breaths. Next exhale, slowly roll down, bending your elbows. Place the back of your head, your shoulders, upper back, lower back, sacrum. Bring your arms by your side and rest for a few breaths in Ardha Shavasana. Inhale, lift your feet off the mat and bring the thighs closer to the chest, the soles of your feet facing up towards the ceiling, and grab the inner side of your feet with your hands, keeping the sacrum down, pressing onto the mat. Widen the knees. Gently press the feet down as if you are trying to press the top of your thighs onto the floor. Happy baby pose. Bring the legs together, straighten the knees, and using a little bit of momentum, lift the hips and bring the legs overhead. Wrap your arms on your calf and stay for 5 breaths in Supta Paschimottanasana or recline forward fold. Inhale, slowly roll your lower back and your sacrum onto the mat. Bend the knees and lower your feet onto the mat. Roll to your side. Cross at your ankles. Press your palms onto the blocks. Lift your hips. Step or jump back onto plank. And continue with Vinyasa transition of your choice. And step or hop forward. Sit down and extend your legs forward. Scoot yourself towards the center of the mat. Pick one blanket up. Sit your bottoms on the. Cross your legs in front of you. Gently place your hands on top of your knees. Neutral spine. Roll your shoulders back. Press your head back. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Stay here and continue with 5 Ujjayi breaths. Chin up, look forward. Interlace your fingers behind your back and pull your arms away from your spine. Inhale, exhale, put your spine into flexion as you lower your head towards the mat. To rest on. Inhale, lift your forehead up and gently unroll yourself back and up. Bring the blocks and put one on each side of your hips. Push the folded blanket back. Crossing at your ankles. Press your palms onto the blocks. Inhale and press up, lifting your hips up, maybe. Float your feet off the mat. 5 breaths. And lower your hips down. Set the block aside. Roll one blanket. Put the blanket roll under the creases of our knees. Keep the feet apart, about mat width distance, and slowly lay our back onto the mat. Arms by our side, palm facing up. Tuck the chin down towards the chest, elongating the back of our neck. Make your exhale longer than your inhale. Everything becomes more quiet and still. Find comfort in the stillness and give your body permission to rest. Start to deepen your breathing. Inhale and exhale through your mouth. Inhale, exhale through your mouth. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Bring your legs together. Raise your arms overhead. Give yourself one big stretch. And slowly roll onto your side. Bring your knees towards your chest. Curl up on your side for a moment. Whenever you are ready, press up into easy seated position. Hands over your knees and gently open your eyes.